This video is going to help you score 95 plus marks in PU2 biology, analyze your midterm performance. We have 120 days left: November, December, January and February. I want you to ask yourselves three very important questions. Did you give your best? Do you think you can do better? Do you think you have improved? Hello Chitko people, I am assuming that all of your midterms are finally over and some of you might have already got your results as well. Well, in this sum there might be a few group of children who might be really happy with your results. Even we are happy for you guys, and there might be another group of children who might think that they have not done that great. It's okay children, it's okay. Even if you did good, if you did bad, it's totally fine. We have got a strategy video for you that is scored 95 plus marks in PU2 biology after midterm. So this video is going to help you with scoring the best results. So the people who are doing good still can give the best results, and people who are not doing that great also can be better at it and then be the best also. So this is for all of you regardless of your marks. And the first thing that I want you to do is, children, analyze your midterm performance. So you had completed your midterm examination, you got your marks, and there's a chart over here, okay? You know that biology exam paper was out of 70 marks. If you are someone who got above 56, okay, you can say that your subject knowledge is kind of strong. It's not about subject knowledge, it's also about the writing practice and a lot of things. You can say that your performance was really good, it is strong, okay? Next, there is a category of children who might have got between 35 to 55, I say it is moderate performance, and if it's below 35 then I say it's weak performance. But you do not have to be sad for performing what's the status of the performance, it goes weak. There is nothing to be sad about. You should be actually be in this phase of understanding your mistakes and rectifying it. So if you are a person who analyze that this is where I lack and probably this is the area that I should be working on, then the success is really near to you. And success is not just about marks, it's also about gaining too much amount of knowledge, becoming a better version of yourself every single day. So first thing, analyze your marks, children, and then while you analyze your performance and everything, the second thing that I want you to do is, you know your chapters that came for midterm examination. Now you know what chapters out of this were difficult, okay? For example, principles of inheritance and variation might have taken much more time than evolution or some other chapter. So probably in the next exam that would be coming through, you should be having a separate day chart for this particular chapter. You should be giving much more priority to this particular chapter, okay? Then you can categorize moderate chapter and then easy chapter. So the easy chapters, probably since you have already studied in this particular midterm examination, you can keep it for the last as well, okay, if you follow the pattern. So make sure, analyze the performance, and you divide or segregate the chapters into difficult, moderate and easy chapters. Now, one very important thing, we put a poll, okay, in the channel, and we asked how was your midterm PU examination, and a lot of you said very good, a lot of you as in 18%, then good 37%, okay, 26%, not good 20%. Well, this is for all of you that we are preparing the video. As I said, for the people who are doing good, there's always a way to do the best, to give the best. For the people who were average, there's always a way to give the better version of themselves, okay, to give the best results later on. And the people who were in the weak category, children, you still have time to understand the mistakes, rectify it and be the best again. So for all of you, there's only one ultimate goal, that is being the best, and we would be doing that, okay? Please do not worry about that. Now, we have 120 days left, November, December, January and February. And how many chapters do we have, children? We have 13 days. So time left goes like this, okay? Now, in this 4 months, how are we planning to segregate things? So in this 4 months, I have a plan. In November month, children, you can solve 8 chapters, okay? You can study 8 chapters. How we can do that, I'll tell you later on. In December, I'll say 5 chapters. So 8 plus 5, sorry, it's 13 chapters. So you're done by December. By December, you are done with all the chapters. In January, what you're left to do, children, you are left to do the revision and the previous year questions. In February, you will be having your practical examination. okay, as well as revision. So by January time you might have your pre-board exam also, okay. So that's why I said revision. By this time we have to anyways finish everything, and we will be finishing it. I'll be giving you detailed way of week by week strategy of what chapters you should be picking up, and yeah, that's all. So everything will be aligned. Please trust me and trust the whole process as well. Cool. Now let's go ahead. Okay, I want you to ask yourselves 3 very, very important questions. Okay, first is, did you give your best? Do you think that you are a person who gave your best? By best as in I am asking you, did you prepare everything in advance? Okay, did you practice writing the answers? Did you know that which chapter carries more marks and which chapter should I prioritize more? This is what I mean by did you give your best? Did you give your 100% for scoring whatever marks you got? That is the first question that you should be asking. Okay, second thing, if not that, then do you think you can do better for the person who has got really, really good marks, or a person who has not scored really, really good marks? This question is very apt. Do you think that you can do better? Is there something that you lack that is not allowing you to do better? I believe that everyone has the potential, my dear children, and we all can do better at what we are doing. As of now, the video that I have made for you, this particular PPT that I have made for you, there's always a better version for this. There's always something better than this that could come any time. Right? So obviously, please remember that probably this time it might have not have been that great, the preparation and everything, but still you can do better. Believe that and work on it. Okay. Next thing, do you think you have improved? So you know, before midterm also you had so many exams, small test series and stuff coming along your way in your schools, right? So do you think you are actually improving? Then if you think that you are actually improving, I'm really, really proud of you, and I wanted to say that. I wanted to remind that I'm really proud of you, and we all teachers are really proud of you for trying your best. Okay, so if you think you have improved, do let me know in the comment section that ma'am, we definitely think that ma'am, I definitely think that I have improved. I'm trying to give my best. I'll be really, really happy to see that some of you at least might have got motivated by what I am trying to say. Okay, and always remember, wherever you're standing, 35 marks or for 56 marks, whatever is it, everything is a result of preparation and hard work. No one gets things easily done. Okay, so everyone have to work really hard to get at that position to score really, really good. So you should be questioning yourself these 3 questions every now and then. Okay, and try to improve yourself. You will definitely see the improvement. Now, I told you to analyze the paper pattern. I told you to segregate the chapters. Now, there are certain mistakes that I commonly see, and I'll be giving you understanding of what you should be doing to undo the mistakes as well. So let's see the mistakes that you should be probably avoiding if you are someone who is preparing for biology. Okay. First thing, spending too much time on low weightage chapters and less time on high weightage chapters. If you are someone, for example, you're not aware about what is low weightage chapters, what is high weightage chapters, how many marks does one particular chapter carry, then probably you are doing a mistake. You should be knowing that, and according to the weightage you should be segregating the marks. Okay, so I will tell you a detailed way of how you can undo this mistake later on. First of all, let's see the mistakes and you check whether you are doing any of these mistakes or not. Okay, second one, not having enough writing practice. So there are some people who know a lot of things, but they do not know how to write it. So when I was taking offline classes, at that point of time, I had so many brilliant children who had too much knowledge in science and everything, but they lacked at one point, that is writing. Their handwriting, the way of writing, they didn't write in points, they didn't underline the important things. So all this thing matters, my dear children. Okay, and you have to write the apt answer. You know, we get a blueprint while checking the paper. Okay, not we, basically the people who check the board papers, they get a blueprint. So for example, it's not always a biology teacher that will be checking your paper. According to the blueprint, whatever answer is given, okay, according to the board, that would be matched over here, and that's how you're given marks. So if your answer is not apt, you're writing a whole storyline there and it is not matching what it is written over here, you will lose your marks. So you have to be apt while answering the questions. Okay. So that is the next mistake that you have. Then ignoring the diagrams and labelings. You know, biology is a subject of theory and diagrams and their labeling. So if you are someone who is ignoring the diagrams and labelings, probably you're missing a lot, because diagrams also carry a lot of marks. You get 3-mark question, you get 5-mark question for the diagrams, their labelings and the sub questions that could come along the way. So why to lose your 3 to 2 marks there? Yeah. Next, not practicing previous year questions. So what happens when you do not practice previous year questions? You are losing up a chance for doing the smart work. So there are people who are hard workers and there are people who are smart and hard workers. So what do the smart and hard workers do? No, they take the question papers and they see what all questions are being repeated each year. Okay. If they see the probability of these questions are more, they probably write it down somewhere and practice it more often. They give special attention to that particular portion. Now, if you are a person who is just juggling between the NCERT and the revision notes and stuff like that, and you do not have time for practicing questions, you are losing the smart work. And the smart work is obviously rewarding as well. Don't you think it's smart work and also hard work? How can I say it's just a smart work? Because over here, you are utilizing your time to find the question. So it is hard work. It's not very easy. It's a very boring task, no? But still you're doing it. So that is one very important thing. So this is again a mistake that you should be avoiding. That is not practicing enough previous year questions. Next thing, keeping things for the last moment. For example, I was a person like that. Okay. I was also a person like that at one point of my time, not always, okay. So I used to keep everything for the last, like, okay, exam will come, I will forget, anyways I will forget everything, so why to study it earlier? No, children, it does not work like that. Your brain knows sometimes, you should not downgrade your brain a lot, it sometimes remembers the crucial stuff. So if you have read through certain things twice or thrice, then your brain, the next time it reads it or sees the question, it will try to recall things. So you are making your brain habituated to learning new things again and again. Or else on the other hand, if you are doing the thing that is keeping things at the last moment, what will happen? Your exam is there in the month of March and in February you're studying everything. You are overloading your brain, which is even more bad. Okay, telling your brain to remember things earlier is much more better than overloading it later on. So when you are overburdened, do you think you can work? No, same thing with the brain also. It also cannot work. So even though I said about all these things, I want you to tackle things really well, which is why I have the next slide of how to undo the mistakes. So I'll take one mistakes each and I'll tell you the alternative way to undo the mistake. So the first thing was what? Spending too much time on low weightage chapters and less time on high weightage chapters. So what can you do about it, children? Listen, make a study schedule. Set number of days for each chapter. For example, I want to finish Principles of Inheritance and Variation in 3 days. So that is the 3 days that I'll be utilizing for it. No other day I'll be taking for it. Within 3 days, anyhow, I have to complete this. Sit whenever you want to study, but you have to complete the chapter within 3 days, not more than that. Okay. Now start with a high priority chapter. What do you mean by high priority chapter? The one that has more weightage in your board examination. Now if you're wondering what is that, I'll be showing you that also. Okay. So start usually with a high priority chapter, alternate with medium priority chapter. So when you study high priority chapters, they might be long, lengthy and stuff like that. So that is why I say alternate with medium priority chapters. You can put medium priority chapters in between your study schedule. For example, Principles of Inheritance and Variation, and then you can put an easy chapter, for example, Reproductive Health there. It's an easy chapter, or a medium weightage chapter, whatever you want, you put it there like a sandwich, and then it becomes kind of easy. So people usually say start with easy chapter. I do not say that. I do not want you to start with the easy chapter. Please, you are up for something. Okay, you are going to be a part of this journey where you want to score 95%, and I said it's a mix of smart and hard work, and hard workers do not fail or do not miss a chance to take the challenges. So take the challenge and start with the hard topic. When you prepare and when you finish the hard topic, you will feel so motivated, my dear children, and that is the essence of life. You should be trying it out. Okay, so start with high priority chapters, alternate with medium priority chapters, and end with low priority chapters towards the end, so that they does not need too much of your time. Okay, that is why I said, but yes, you can alternate it with let's say high priority chapters as well. Now, as I said, I have already made a weekly timetable for you. I'll be showing you that. But the thing that I want from you is to make a study schedule by yourself as well. Okay, because I'll be giving you the chapters according to the weightage, you can prioritize, you know what chapters are difficult for you, what chapters are easy for you, what chapters are moderate for you, and then you can prepare for yourself as well. But in my sense, I'll be giving you the weekly target later on towards the end of the video. Right now, I am going to show you the weightage for each chapters. Okay, so I have arranged the high weightage chapters all together. One is Principles of Inheritance and Variation, 13 marks it carries. Okay, then you have Molecular Basis of Inheritance, again 13 marks. Then you have Human Health and Diseases, 11 marks. Okay, Sexual Reproduction and Flowering Plants, 11 marks, and Human Reproduction, 10 marks. So these are the high weightage chapters that you have. This is from boards. Boards have given this marks and you have to follow it. So if you are a person, if you are picking up some other chapter and investing too much of your time into it, which is a low weightage chapter, you are at loss. So that is why I said you should be knowing the weightage of the chapter, and according to it, you should be making a study schedule. So this is high weightage chapter. Next is medium weightage chapter. You have Evolution giving you 7 marks, and then you have Biotechnology Principles and Processes, again 7 marks. Microbes in Human Welfare, 7 marks. Biotechnology and its application, 6 marks. Reproductive Health, 6 marks. And Organism and Population, 6 marks. Okay, so I think we have completed all the high priority chapters. I have completed for NEET. Okay, so there are videos already been put there. So don't think this is for NEET, ma'am, and you have to study for PU2. It's not like that. Okay, there are plenty of teachers, whoever you want to go through, you can go and check. But if you think in some or the other way, my video would be helpful for you, you can go give a watch. There's no matter that is for NEET. It's okay. In NEET also, we are taking NCERT as the basic thing, and then we are working on it by teaching something extra also. So if you want, you can put in 2x speed and listen to the chapters that we have already been taught, or from any teachers if you want. Okay, or from your school teacher itself. If she is really great or he is really great, we can follow them as well. So these are the list of chapters that has medium priority. So you can sandwich them between the high priority chapters, okay, when it becomes too burden for you. Now, low weightage chapters, you have 2, Ecosystem carrying 4 marks, and Biodiversity and Conservation carrying again 4 marks. Okay, so this you can give the last priority, or you can sandwich them in between. Either way. So you know the weightage of chapters. Now will you be able to arrange and make your own study schedule? You can. And you know some of the chapters you have already read it, so you don't need too much of time to it. So you can do changes in that. Okay. So spending too much time on low weightage chapters you have to avoid, and you have to invest more time in high priority chapters. That is what I meant to say. I hope you got it. Okay. Now the next thing is that not having enough writing practice. So for that, what can we do? Listen. At the end of the chapter, pick a question from 2 marker, 3 marker and 5 marker category. Not pick a question, you can pick many questions, either of them, whatever you want. Okay, but for writing practice, I'm telling you. Okay, try answering them in points. I want, for example, there's a question on what is vaccine. Write the answer in points. Do not write a paragraph on it. When you write in points, you are basically showing your confidence in showing off the answer. Because in paragraph, no, your mistakes would not be seen that much. And your paragraphs, no one read also, and you won't get marks also. But when you are writing in points, you're showing that I am confident to show my answer off. And you have to write in points and underline the basic things. So I don't want you to write the whole answer when you're trying to answer all of them. Okay. At least have a focus on the framework that you should be following, that you should be writing about the vaccine, then the type of vaccine, then when are they administered, all of this thing in points. If you are not understanding the framework of writing, you might suffer in the case of exam. So in the case of exam, you know the answer, but you're not knowing the framework. It takes too much of your time. That's why I'm telling you how to have a writing practice, children. You can, at the end of the chapter, pick questions from 2 marker, 3 marker and 5 marker, and at least have a basic outline of this answers being written on there. Okay, it will be really helpful for you. Okay, basic outline. I don't want you to write all the answer because I know it's time taking and you might not have too much of your time for that. Okay, so I'll recommend, please try practicing at least 1 to 2 questions from each category, 2 marker, 3 marker and 5 marker. So in this way, no, you will understand what all you should be writing in a 2 marker question and what all you should be writing in a 3 marker question. Sometimes what happens is just 2 marker question, but you're writing like a 5 marker question. So that you should be avoiding. Do not overwrite things. That is also a problem. So you should be very specific, and you will get a hang of it only if you try to write it. If you're not trying, then you do not know how to write it. So that is one thing that you can do. Now, for that reason, okay, when I say 2, 3, 5 marker category, you should be knowing the paper pattern as well. So if you are not knowing the paper pattern, that is also a big problem. So let's understand the paper pattern and then we'll go ahead. Children, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. Okay, the first part is MCQ, where you have 15 number of questions. You can attempt all of them and you get 15 marks. Then there is fill in the blanks. 5 questions will be there, 5 of them you can attempt, you can get 5 marks total. Then there is short answer 2 marker question. You will be getting 7 questions, but out of the 7 questions you should be attempting only 5. Only 5 you have to attempt, not more than 5. Okay, so 5 into 2 is basically 10 marks you will get for that. So when the 2 marker part come, please do not go around writing all the 7 questions that is given to you. Just pick up the 5 questions. Okay, now you have 3 marker question, that is again short answer type. 7 questions will be there, again you have to attempt just 5. So 5 into 3, 15 marks. This is a common mistake that is done because children obviously get tensed and they do not read the question and things like that, which is why I am telling you. Then there is a long 5 marker question. For that again 7 questions will be there, you have to attempt just 4. Then again there will be 5 marker, in that 3 questions will be there, but you have to attempt only 1. Total the number of questions will be so many. Okay, the number of marks is 70. Number of marks is 70. So you should be having a practice of all these type of questions. If you're not having enough practice of these questions and you're seeing them directly on the day of exam, it will be a big problem for you, which is why I'm saying pick questions, 2 questions from your 7 questions in a question paper. So can't you pick just 2 questions from them and practice it? Yes, you can. Similarly over here also you can, over here also you can. And there is one more very important thing. Okay, so there's a strategy to remember and practice the important questions. And what is the strategy all about, my dear children? So here you are seeing, okay, I'll zoom in a bit. So human health and diseases, this is the chapter that I took. Okay, I have a book, and in this book now I have divided the book into 2 parts. One part I can use for any language or whatever small subject I have, and the other part is for biology. So I took the chapter, I read the whole chapter, I studied it completely, and now it's time for me to solve questions. So I went through the question papers and I remember, oh, there were 2 marker question like this. Then there is a 5 marker question also. But what happens is that when you study multiple chapters, you tend to forget what was important in a chapter. So what you can do is, when you are referring to previous year questions, okay, or question papers, you can make a rough note of questions that have come continuously, repeatedly, in different ways. For example, tell the structure of antibody, what does the antibody lack? So you know these are 2 separate questions, but okay, what are the bonds between the antibody, what is constant region in an antibody, what is a variable region in an antibody, draw the structure of an antibody. These are all related to antibody only. So you know antibody is important. So what you can do is make a column of 2 marker questions, write down the questions and the year. Write out the question and the year. So next time when you are going through the chapter, you know this is a portion that I have to read thoroughly. Same thing with 3 marker also. So 3 marker, you don't have to go around writing the name of the full question. At least write the question type. So question was on what? The name of the drug, the source of the plant, and the nature of the action. Okay, similarly, the question was on the name of the disease, the causative organism, and the symptoms. So you know you should be knowing the disease name, you should be knowing the causative organism's name, and you should be knowing the symptoms also. If you're not aware of the pattern of the question, will you be able to do that? No. So I'm not wanting you to write the whole question and waste too much of your time. No. At least the outline of these questions, would that go? Yes, it will do. Now over here, again question, identify the lymphoid organ on the basis of the position. So they will give you a picture question. In that, they will be telling that this is a position of one lymphoid organ. What is this lymphoid organ? So again, if you know that this type of questions could come, can you practice it? Won't you be putting your efforts into learning the concept behind it also? Yes, you would. So that would be really helpful. So this question, no, that there's name of the disease, the name of the drug, source, the plant, and the nature. The question was like this. The question, 3 marker question, it was like this. So instead of writing the whole question, right, what did I write? The name of the drug was asked, so you should be knowing the name of all the drugs. Okay, the source plant was asked, so you should be knowing the name of the source plant and the nature of its action as well. You get it? So this is how you can have a rough framework of things. So if you do this for every chapter, okay, if you do this for every chapter, anyways you're going to utilize your time for revision also. Yes, in the revision it becomes all the more easy if you know what are the types of questions that are repeatedly asked in each year. It will be really helpful. I'm not saying the question as such is repeated, but the concept behind it obviously might be repeated. Okay, got it? Okay, so in this question only, the name of the drug, if you study this properly, you might score a 2 marker also, where they're just asking you what does cannabinoid do. So you know about cannabinoid already because you have prepared for this question, so you can get marks in the 2 marker question as well. So this is a strategy of how you can revise things and also have a good writing practice. So in the same book only, you can use another area for having a rough outline of the answers as well if you want. Okay, so as I said, this 2, 3, 5 marker questions which you are picking, suppose you are picking like this. Okay, you have made a chart like this. Okay, and then pick 1 or 2 questions from them and then try to write the answers. It will be really helpful for you. Got it? I hope it was helpful. So second mistake also we have undone. Let's see the next one. Ignoring the diagrams and their labeling. So what you can do for understanding and remembering the diagrams, how you can practice it, let's see that. So before you start a chapter, mark the important diagrams of the chapter. How do you understand what is the important diagrams of the chapter? So any question paper, no, if you turn around, you will be seeing so many diagrams, or they might be asking you label this, or they might be asking you what is this particular region, so many things. So you know that this particular diagram is kind of important, you should be revising it. So what do you do is, before starting off a chapter, for example, human reproduction, it has lots of topics that have been repeated, diagrams. Okay, the male reproductive system, the female reproductive system. So you can just put a star mark there before starting the chapter, and when you go through the chapter, you can try practicing it as well. Okay, now make the outline of the diagram once you learn it and keep it unlabeled. So once you have learned the diagram of the female reproductive system, okay, keep it unlabeled, don't label it. Later on, after 2 days, when you are finishing the chapter off, for the first day you started off this thing, after 2 days when you are in another chapter or you are finishing this chapter, try to label this. That's your task, that's a homework for you, sir. So in that case, you are trying to recall things and you would be able to recall better. And sometimes while we do labeling, no, we understand that we did mistakes in the diagram also. So that is one very important thing. So this is something that you can do for undoing the mistake of ignoring the diagrams and the labelings. Cool? Chalo, next mistake, not practicing previous year questions. For that, what we have to do, children, download sample papers from the official CBSE website. Okay, you have to do it. Now if you have not seen it, looks like this. Okay, so if you go to Central Board of Secondary Education, they have given, look, Class 12 sample paper question paper and marking scheme for exam 2024 and 25. So over here you have different subjects. I see biology. Click on the sample question paper and then you will get a sample question paper. You can try practicing it. I am telling you the resources as well because it might be difficult for you to find it all of a sudden somewhere. So yes, this is one resource that you have. Now if you are from Karnataka and things like that, you can do something else, that is download the model question papers from trusted website like KSEAB. Okay, that is for Karnataka. So over here, this got hidden. Just give me a second. Wait. How did it go back? I'll show you. Okay, so now, yes, so even if you haven't studied the chapters, still try to read all the question once. So what is a good thing about it is that, as I said, for example, I studied all the high priority chapters, medium priority chapters, and now I'm coming to the low priority chapters. What I can do is, I can read the questions and see what type of questions have come already. So this gives me an idea. So when I read through the paper in general, it will be really helpful for me to understand that, okay, this question have come from this particular topic. I should be prioritizing this particular portion of the chapter. In this way, it would do really good. So you should be practicing enough previous year questions, and as I said, this is one particular site, and the other one I'll be showing you over here. This is from the Karnataka website. Okay, so in this they have so many subjects, if you can see. Okay, if you can see, you have so many subjects. If you click on biology, you will be heading towards model question papers and the blueprint and things like that. So if you click on that, you will get knowledge for everything. It's for all the subjects, same for physics, psychology, statistics, whatever you want, you will get it there. Cool? So this is how you can practice your previous year questions. And please put your previous year questions for like after every chapter. Yes, you can do the questions, and majorly do it in the month of January when you are done with the preparation and everything. Okay, give more priority. It's okay if you have studied one sample paper once, you can do it twice, thrice, every time. Whenever you're free, try it out. Okay, it will cement everything that is there in your brain really nicely. So next mistakes, keeping things for the last moment, which is the last mistake that we had, and how we can undo this, children, is a very important thing. have a practical timetable for your studies. Problem is that we do not have a practical timetable. Okay, we always say that we will be doing this, for example, principles of inheritance and variation in one day. For a person who is studying it for the first time, you cannot complete it in one day. So have a practical timetable. Say that I'll be completing in 3 days, stick to it and then complete it. Okay, so have a practical timetable, because when you have a practical timetable and when you are able to achieve your daily goals, what happens is that you get the boost of confidence and you go ahead. When you are not making a practical timetable, what happens is that you think that you suck at it and you do not go ahead. That is the reason. Okay, now assign minimum number of days for each chapter. Obviously, do not go on like principles of inheritance and variation can take 5 days. That is a maximum days, children. Set a minimum day goal. Okay, within 3 days, if I can complete, then why not? Put 3 days for one particular chapter. Okay, so in that way again, you would still have much more time for revising other chapters. Now, divide the chapters based on your knowledge into strong and weak chapters. Now, you know where you stand for each chapter, so you can divide it along the way into strong and weak chapters, and then you can tackle it. You can prepare your study timetable according to it. Now, as I promised to you, I have also made something for you which you can follow. Okay, so for November, December, January, every month I have something. Let's see. For November, I have this plan for you. In the week 1, you can follow molecular basis of inheritance and also biotechnology principle and procedure. This is the medium priority chapter. So I have sandwiched it. Again, I have principles of inheritance and variation. So if you know this chapter, then you will understand this chapter better. Okay, which is why I have given priority to this and this. Again, if you know this chapter, you might understand things better over here in biotechnology and its application. Okay, so in week 1, tackle 2 chapters. Week 2, tackle 2 chapters. Week 3, tackle human health and diseases, and there is one easy chapter, that is ecosystem. So low priority chapter, but I put it over here because, as I had said, too much of knowledge could overburden you. That's why. Now, human reproduction, when you study, it's a 10 marker thing. Study along with reproductive health. So in this way, this chapter also goes in a flow. Okay, this is for November. This thing you can follow for November. Now, going ahead, one more thing, study biology for 2 hours. So every day if you can, or alternate days. Do you think that you can study all this chapter in alternate days? Then do that. Finish this chapter in alternate days. Or if you think that you need 2 days, you do not have any other core subjects, you just have biology and then physics and chemistry, then probably you can follow this. That is, study biology for 2 hours. If you have one major subject such as biotechnology along with biology and things like that, you might not find time. In that case, go for alternate days. Okay, so study biology for 2 hours. Start by going through the chapter specific question. Understand the pattern. Okay, so how do you start the question? So you might have some book where the question type of questions might have given, which have come from the previous year. Go through it. So we'll understand what type of questions have come from this chapter, and when I start off this chapter, what I should be prioritizing more. It will save a lot of time. Just use this for 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes to go through the question paper. You will get an idea of a lot of things. Oh, vaccine is there. Vaccine is here. This is there. This is there. So you will get an idea. Oh, this topic I have to study. Okay. Now go through the theory and diagrams, if any. Importantly, note down just the outline of a page after learning. So if you have completed one page, don't go writing notes or like a long para. Just make an outline. Okay, in this para I studied this 1 point, 2nd point, 3rd point. This is the outline. You have to create an outline, not a whole thing. Now mark the concepts which needs a revisit. So some areas you might be not that great at, you might be not as strong. So what do? Put a star mark and revisit it when the next time it comes, after 2 days or 1 day. Revisit it and see it so that it becomes thorough. Do not give up. See, in that question, I cannot study it. Do not give up. There was a topic, okay, I still remember, while I was teaching, I was not able to teach it. I was almost on the verge of giving up, but then I do not have a choice. I anyways have to teach it. So I went and learned it somehow. Somehow I went for like almost 20 videos, okay, full length videos. I went through it. I understood what that particular teacher was trying to say, and that's how I understood the thing, and that's how I taught others. You get it? So in this way, you have to take it as a responsibility and do it. Okay, now give half an hour for question practice. So if you're studying for 2 hours, I'll say 30 minutes should be for question practice. That is very much important. If you're not practicing question along with studying the chapter, it might be difficult for you. Do not wait for the end of the chapter to revise things. Every day when you're studying, 30 minutes is for question practice. You have to do it anyhow. Okay, take the questions. If you're not getting sample paper question, take the question from your NCERT book. Why not you're taking from NCERT books? So please, the back page of your NCERT always have exercise question. You have NCERT exemplar. Take the questions from there and practice it. But you have to practice 30 minutes for sure. Okay, now December is there. For December, you have sexual reproduction in flowering plants, and then microbes in human welfare in 1 week, evolution and organism and population in another week, biodiversity and conservation another week. Now you have this whole thing left, children. 1 whole week left and 1/2 week left. So in this time, you can choose a chapter which you want to study, which you are weak at. You have segregated the chapters according to difficult, moderate and stuff like that, no? So basically, the weak chapters, you can follow them over here. Cool. And in this way, we have completed the syllabus. We have completed November, we have completed December, and with this, we have completed the biology course as well. That's a big thing. Now, going ahead, you have January to February. So this is a time where you have boards and everything. So final revision and boards are there. So revise by solving maximum number of questions. So revision is not about reading your notes. It's about doing maximum number of questions. If you are able to do it, that means you have done a proper revision. Now write down the answer endpoints. Underline the important terms. This is the final stage. We have reached the final stage. Right now we are just revising. And we are just writing the answers, we are underlining things, we are very confident about it. Mark the questions that you are not able to attempt and revisit it later on. Okay. Now, in the month of February, you have your practical exams. So for that, I'll recommend you, if you are a person who did not understand the practicals properly, then watch videos in YouTube for practical exams. Watch videos for the practical exam, you'll get an idea of the concept behind the experiment. So if you're not aware about the idea of the concept, then during this particular time, you might scratch your head for understanding a lot of things. So why not go see the video, understand it a bit better, and then try to read the experiment and do it on the day of exam. Okay, so this time you would be having from February to March, you would be having your practical exams, and I also want you to solve at least 10 to 15 full length mock tests. By this time you should be trying it out. And one more thing, do not stop revisiting difficult topics. Do not give up on yourself. Please revisit the difficult topics whenever possible. There is no way to go back of it. Okay, and again, as I said, the questions, if you want, you get it from, first thing you have is NCERT, okay, your NCERT book. Then you have NCERT exemplar there. Okay, then what do you have, children? NCERT is there, NCERT exemplar is there. Then what do you have? You have your CBSE sample papers. Okay, you have your state. Your state will also be releasing certain sample papers. You can follow that also. Okay, or any other, OSWAL has certain books, MTG has certain books for PU2 preparation, you can follow that as well. But you have to think. So I hope I have covered all the mistakes that you probably might have done and the ways you can rectify all those mistakes. And I hope that this particular video was helpful for you in a lot of different ways. I put my brain into making this particular video, the PPT and all. Okay, what should be the perfect way that they can do better or perfect in the next exam. And this next exam is your board exam, which matters a lot. But I do not want you to get tensed. Okay, saying that it's board exam, it's just an exam and you are just a human being. Remember that. Give your best. I know you can. Just be positive. Just have self-belief. There might be 10,000 people saying 10,000 things. If you are aware of your capabilities, you would be able to ace any exam that comes your way. Remember that. Now, if you like the video, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Okay, and also you can put down the comments if you have any doubts, if you want to say something good, something bad, whatever. I'm open to all. Yes, and if you have any tips for other children who are preparing for the examination, you should be telling that. And one more thing, update, we would be launching our PU2 series really soon, and if you want to make it quicker, you have to comment down that we need it ASAP. We will do ASAP. If we see there are so many number of children asking for it, then we would really reschedule things and we would put it earlier. That is what I meant. So that's all, my dear children. Stay happy. Bye bye. Take care.